Welcome back to Living Local, everybody. The time right now, 9:18 a.m. And you know what? North America holds the largest share on anti-aging market. Nearly 60% of the global market in 2014. That's right. The U.S. population spent over $8.5 billion on cosmetic procedures. As far as products sold to combat age, 50% of the products bought are related to anti-wrinkle solutions. So anti-aging, big, big business. And there are a lot of products on the market claiming to keep you looking young, but it's a virtual jungle out there, isn't it? So who do you believe? Which product is the best for you? Why? You know, I mean, should you buy the most expensive one? How can you tell fact from fiction if it's actually going to work? Well, Dr. Susan Schroeder from Perfect Skin Dermatology is here to fill us in on what we need to know. There are a lot of products. Yeah. So it's wonderful that you're here to kind of like weed us. No, that's okay. Our table to kind of weed us through like what we need to know. So I guess let's just start out with you know, when patients come to you, what are they looking for?
So this is my job, is to weed out what really works and what doesn't, because it is very confusing. And so patients often bring things in, and then we go through them, and I say, this is good, you can keep this, this needs to be different, and you know, here's why. And so I like to really break it down for them. And usually a good rule of thumb is if you can buy it over the counter, it might be a good moisturizer or a cleanser, but it may not be potent enough to really give you the anti-aging effects that you're looking for.
Okay, so, and we all want to combat that aging. You can do it from the inside, but sometimes just genetics and, you know, the carcinogens in the atmosphere, it's going to happen. We're going to get wrinkles. So, are there any, you know, what should we be using? And let's start off. Let's take a look at what's on the table and kind of talk people through this, because there are some moisturizers, there's some retinoids, and I bet that's all confusing for everybody.
Okay, so to break it down easily, there are basically 4 components to what you should be using on your skin for anti-aging. Okay, it should be a sunscreen, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, an antioxidant, a retinoid, and then something that's going to induce collagen in your skin in addition to the retinoids.
Right, because as we get older, we're losing collagen. That's why our face is not looking as tight and perky.
After the age of 30, you lose 1% average of your collagen a year in your skin.
It's so sad, but we can combat it. We can combat it. Okay, so you did mention sunscreen. Yeah. Why should we be wearing sunscreen?
Okay, so sunscreen is cumulative, and I like to say there are no free calories in sunscreen. Every single ray that reaches your skin is going to be registered, and over time it causes photo damage. Okay. So a good rule of thumb is, I have a lot of patients that come in and say, well, you know, I ask them, are you using sunscreen? Well, yeah, if I'm in the sun. Well, guess what? If there's daylight out, you're in the sun.
So even if you're driving in the car, putting your shade down, it's still shining in your face?
UV exposure penetrates glass. So, you know, anytime you're actually, unless you're a vampire, you're going to be getting sun exposure.
Well, I'm not.
But what we recommend now is, dermatologists usually say now, it used to be 30 SPF, it's 50 SPF. We want you to be on a mineral sunscreen, so that's titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. And now we also recommend infrared protection, because infrared, which is actually heat, is something that stimulates pigments of pathway pigment.
We talked about this because I was getting those patches on my skin, so we got a sunscreen that I can put on. So when I'm getting the heat from, you know, the washing machine, or not from the washing machine, from the dishwasher, or from the kitchen, from the stove.
Or for exercising.
Exactly. Exactly. So, all right, we have about 1 minute. So let's get on to these. I know I use these, and these are what you called antioxidants, right?
No, this is the antioxidant, but it looks very similar. Okay, so this is my favorite antioxidant is vitamin C. What you're looking for in vitamin C is a high concentration, so about a 20 to 30%, and it needs to be in an active state. So high up on the ingredient list, it needs to say L-ascorbic acid or tetradecyl sulfate. Sorry, but that's
not going to remember that.
That's okay. You can look on the 7 things or our blog.
Exactly. But, so you know what, we do have to wrap it up, but we had some more stuff to go over. I know I've used this, and it made my skin feel like
collagen inducer, elastin, best on the market, and then the other thing is a retinoid. And you can either use a retinoid, like a Retin-A or a tretinoin, a Restore C product. This is the one that I use. It's called Alpha Red. It penetrates really well, and it's very good for sensitive skin. both of these are.
These are wonderful, and I've used these. I've had a sample of this. I've used this, and it's so absolutely wonderful because this stuff did make my skin feel like silk. But you break it down for everybody on your blog, on your website.
Right.
Okay, so for more information, go online to perfectskinderm.com and look for that blog. Their information is up on the screen, and this segment has been sponsored by Perfect Skin Dermatology.